Alright, so I'm not sure if you guys have ever been in this position, but I'm actually playing up against a friend of mine who's on the Pro Tour named Paul Bradford, and it sucks because the loser of this game is essentially knocked out. I also, there was a span of about 2 years where me and my friend Inigo, who's also been on the Pro Tour, we, even at events that had like thousands of people, GPAC, GP Providence, all that, we would always face each other for the winning in. It was just insane for some reason. I can't really explain it. I also thought it was kind of douchey that he brought out the unhinged lands for this event, but that's alright. That's alright. I didn't even recognize him at first, because I wasn't looking at names or anything. This hand, though, is probably the best possible opener. I could play my tap land, and then play the 3/3 with Defender. Or I can go face down 2/2. But then he can blow me out with, I don't know, Grease Lightning? I have no idea. And I feel kind of douchey because I tell him that this is my first ever limited to this format. Yeah, so I'm gonna go 3/3 into tap land because that's the best use of my manners. And I feel very comfortable. Okay, so that's 0/2. That's annoying. If I play that, let's see. I give them +2/+2. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. No, I wouldn't. It wouldn't have ferocious, and I don't have enough forest. So I'm just gonna play that guy face down. I could swing in if I want and put him on an infinite clock, but that's just not how I roll. So what is that? Outpost siege. That's fine. I mean, his rares are. I mean, for him to open up all these unhinged lands in dragons is pretty nuts. Alright, so I got out my dash dragon. While he's tapped out, I waited for that exact moment where he taps out. Because, blue and red have burn spells and counter spells. I didn't want my dude to get countered. He's taking a while. So I'm going to use this time to set up my what gets put into play, what gets exiled with Outpost Siege, set up my graveyard, all the other junk, that you have to set up before every single match. Now, I didn't actually read this card. I just know that when it attacks, creatures get +1/+1 or something. I'm not entirely sure. It's whenever a dragon attacks, all my creatures get +1/+1. And that gives a creature base toughness, so it turns it into a 0/2. But this at least, pumps up a little bit. It's 5, 8, 5, 8, 11. So I should put him at 7. Put him at lethal next turn. That's a pretty good feeling. If I draw another land, I could not go dragon. I can go dash guy into give 2 out of my 3 creatures +2/+2. And that would be probably lethal. Not 100%. He's moving very slowly. Very slowly. Alright, so he's at 9. Dragon comes back to my hand. I'm excited. It's protected from, I don't know, STDs. Alright, he looks like he got a little flooded here. I mean, that is why what you want to draw off Outpost Siege. You don't want to draw a card that you can't cast. Like, the worst thing ever is when you draw 2 of your good cards in a row. One on Outpost Siege, one for, one for drawing for your turn. And then you can't play either. Oh, Pyrotechnics. That's just wrong. That is wrong. That's painful. But if that's what he's using Pyro on, I'm relatively happy with that. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I could do anything about it, and then I remembered I couldn't. There should be a morph 0 that actually like does something. I can play out the dash creature for its casting cost, and then swing all in next turn. Or I could just swing in here for 5, put him at 4, lethal next turn. I have no problem with lethal next turn. I mean, it's not the, of all the things I could have problems with, lethal next turn is definitely not one of them. So, alright, so this is gonna swing in. I wonder if that triggers ferocious. No, it wouldn't be able to attack. It doesn't become a 5 until after it turns sideways. Alright, so I'm just going to dash in the guy. Wow, he has drawn a ton of lands. I'm going to just dash him in again next turn. If he has instant speed removal, he has instant speed removal. There's nothing I can do. 1, 2. Okay. I mean, that's not the scariest thing he could possibly do. So I'm just going to dash my guy in again. I mean, he could have counterspell. He could have the counterspell where you sacrifice, where you extort a creature to counter a creature. I'm scared of potential cards and I shouldn't, and that's what's stupid. Black, green, so I'm going to get the Angler in play, and that at least turns on Ferocious, which allows me to attack with the 3/3. So now, at minimum, I have 2 threats, which is nice. Also, turning this on at the correct time is always weird. Alright, what does he have? Oh, okay, that's fine. So if he would have done that to my dash creature, it just would have tapped and then returned to my hand. Now he's going to tap my Angler. But this is good though, because essentially he's dead unless he draws like Cyclonic Rift. I don't know. Anticipate doesn't really scare me that much. He needs something that flies. He needs, he could play any, I don't know how many 5-mana dragons there are. I don't know actually if there were any 5-mana dragons. Are there? I know Stormbreath Dragon's a 5-mana dragon. That's the only dragon I know. Oh yeah, and the one I currently have in play. So I don't really know what to do against him, considering I didn't see anything. I mean, what did I see? I saw Outpost Siege. I saw Pyrotechnics, which, is a legitimate thing. Pyrotechnics is a little scary. I saw Unhinged Lands. I mean, if anything, he made back his money just on the Unhinged Lands. So, opening up all those lands in 6 packs is kind of nuts. All in your colors, too. I mean, do I cut anything? I don't like Whisper of the Wilds in this deck. I just don't think it's very good. I think a basic Forest is just far better. Especially since I think every game I've played I've been pinched on green mana. Like, not like horribly, but I've been fairly pinched on Forest. Alright, so I can go champion turn 2, but I could also wait a little bit. Not, is it champion? I don't know, Oriok something. I can fetch a swamp immediately, or I can wait to see if I draw one and play it as 2-2. I do have 2 turns where I have to play it and I'm on the draw, so I think I'm gonna give myself 2 draw steps, because I also need a forest. Yeah, that's fine. It's just a difficult decision, right? Okay, so that makes my decision a little bit easier. If I draw a swamp next turn, I'll just play him as 2-2. Okay, so he switched into black or red apparently, or something like that. Oh snap, MVP. MVP right there. Ashmouth Hound, or whatever it's called. By the way, I did one of those Tempest Remastered drafts. Those are it is the easiest format I've ever played in my entire life. The cards are utterly worthless, by the way, but it is the easiest format I've ever played. It's like you just take red, green, big things, and your opponent goes, huh? How do I deal with this? Also, I got past a Rolling Thunder. I mean, come on. Everyone, because you have a higher percentage of getting Rolling Thunder when your opponent is going to rare draft. So, I think in this situation, I play the... What do I do here? I mean, let's be honest for a second. I could play a 2-2. I could fetch for a land. I could swing in, try and take out a guy. He blocks with his manifest dude and swings back for 4. But that takes a lot of combat tricks off the table, which I'm happy with. Hopes it has delve count ever so slightly. Alright, so I got my own 2-2. See, now we both have 2-2s. Except he has 2 2-2s. I have a 2-2 and a 2-1. With triple strike. Triple strike should be a real thing, by the way. Just wait for it. New cards and Modern Masters too. Ah, you son of a bitch. Should have blocked. Alright. So he's utterly useless on the board by himself. I can play him as a 1-1, grab a swamp, pitch something to Tormenting Voice, and because I know I'm drawing a land next turn, the question is what would I pitch? And I kind of like the idea of pitching the 4-4 flyer. If my guys stay... No, my guys aren't going to stay on the board, though. I kind of need the 4-4. I think I wait on the Tormenting Voice. And I try... Yeah, I try to catch him with the combat trick. The +2/+2 to each creature. While I keep my dude back to block. As long as he doesn't have another one of those, deal 1 damage to a creature and 6 damage to an opponent. It's a pretty good card, actually. Oh, ultimate price. He's got the good cards. I didn't get the good cards. It doesn't work that way. Alright, so that's a lot of damage that I just took. I think here... I know what I'm drawing. I'm drawing a swamp. That is obvious. He's watching Daredevil on Netflix, which, look, let's be honest here. Daredevil already has a stigma after the abomination that Ben Affleck made. Oh god, and they made an Elektra movie too, that was even worse. Here I'm looking for any form of removal. Any form. I have 2 removal spells, and I'm drawing 2 cards. So, let us pray to the almighty, I don't know, Ganesh? Just pick one. Check on a creature. Hoping to draw a spell. Not 2 lands in a row, hopefully. Oh, but, yeah, so about, ew. It doesn't kill me, at least, but ew. Blade Tuskboar. Actually, I think that's not Blade Tuskboar. Blade Tuskboar is a good card. Yeah, so I don't know. I tried watching the new Daredevil, and I was just like, alright, so a blind dude is fighting people. And I'm like, that's almost as bad as Aquaman, who can't deal with anything that isn't, I'm not sure if these blocks are correct, by the way, but since that's a morph, I put the 4/1 on it. What was it? Oh, it was a manifest thingy. Alright, that's fine. No follow-up? Come on, no follow-up. What did I just say? I said no follow-up. That's an angler. It's not a correct follow-up. Ah! If only I wasn't at 5 and he wasn't at 18. Alright, I'm just gonna concede. I mean, what can I do, honestly, here? I could play a creature, block, the creature dies. Yeah, I wasn't drawing anything for another 2 turns, so I'm perfectly acceptable with scooping and moving on to the next game, especially if he has pyrotechnics. I'm not sure how good the command is in this matchup, just because I didn't see any creatures that fly. I didn't see, like, he has pyrotechnics, but if he has pyrotechnics and uses it, he's gonna blow me out regardless, even if it's to my face, so I'm not gonna play around that. Ultimate price, command doesn't do anything. You didn't have any ways of gaining life. So, what I figure is stick with what I got. This is pretty good. I'm on the play, but there's a pretty good chance I draw a forest here. And then, let me think. I mean, I have my creature, you know, I have my bomb, my 4/4 colorless dragon. Oh my god, I just keep drawing the MVP. That's insane. I never get this lucky. See, this is why Magic is like 90% luck, 27% skill, 15% like money, and 27.5% something else. Shit if I know. Either way, it doesn't add up to 100, and it's mostly luck. And if someone says they're, quote, playing to their outs, they are bullshitting the hell out of you. That is a lie. There's no such thing as playing to your outs. It's called top decking a bonfire. That's how Reed Duke got onto the Pro Tour. He did, hey, what's on top of my deck? Oh, bonfire, boom. You know, that, and he played Moto 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I think only slept during downtime. Here he anticipates, which is fine. I need to get in as much damage as humanly possible, as quick as I possibly can. Also, I think the 5/1 hexproof here is going to be very strong against him. Also, I have both my removal spells in my hand. Both of my removal spells. So, that's kind of a big deal. So if he plays anything with 2 toughness or less, I can kill it. Crap. That I'm gonna kill immediately, though. I don't want him to have that in play. Or is that, like, too large for me to kill? Nah, I can kill that. I hate how it asks me if that's alright. Like, of course that's alright. I'm not gonna deal 1 damage to something else. Now, yes, I could have attacked, and then when he blocked, damage would have went on the stack, and then I could have bolted that, and then bolted him for 1, but why do I want to take that chance with Moto? Alright, so I'm a mana away from my creature being able to just dash in and save the day, which I think is fantastic. Mainly because I'd like to win. Not lose, win. Winning is much better than losing, apparently. This has been said by experts of the field. Oh, shit. Alright, that's like the biggest bomb you could possibly have in the history of time. I need to draw land this turn, or I'm dead. Because that thing will start shitting out 2/2s and 4/4s, and yes! I shit out a land. So he can shit out some 2/2s and 4/4s, and that's fine. 5. Alright, sweet. And I get to get in for 2 points. I don't know, my deck is all about incremental points damage. Very similar to Delver, except it involves really bad cards. Alright, now, I'm not quite sure what all the cards do in this format, so I got really fucked over here. I called shenanigans, not gonna lie. I should have attacked with both because my guy still gives all creatures +1/+0. I thought that was like, it loses all abilities and becomes a 0/2 base creature. No, it's a 0/2 flying that makes everything +1/+0 when it attacks. So that's my own stupidity. I always say the best way to win at Magic is to actually read the cards. And that was just me not reading the cards there. I also think now he has the ability to put out a creature this turn with his like super hyper insane enchantment. No! Don't. Oh, okay, cool. Thought he was gonna counter it or something, like negate on my creature. That'd be fantastic. Although that only gave, like, normally when I play that card, I want to have a lot of guys that die or extort creatures, so that way I can go 2 at a time, because making 4/4s is just nuts. Or you could just play an Angler. That's fine too. It's, you know, perfectly acceptable. Alright, I need a Forest. Forest? Forest, go. Forest? Forest, run! Yes! The luck is real. Alright, so how do I do this correctly? I can make my guy... Okay, I'd have to use the boar. I want to kill his Angler. So... Or do I? I mean... Oh, shit. This is a really difficult decision. I could also play out my second dragon, pass my turn. My guys are attacking with 2 power. Well, like, this way, he's going to block with his token. And take out my 4/1. I'm not 100% sure if that was correct. But he has nothing in his graveyard. It looks like he has no ways of getting anything into his graveyard. So leaving him with 1 creature just seems perfectly acceptable. I could also now play my 4/4 flying protection from Breach Through Miss. And... Because, like, if he's going to extort, he's not going to extort his Angler. That would be insanity. Alright, so this is good, because now when my guy attacks, it kills the Angler just straight up 1/1. Not to mention, all attacking creatures get +2/+0. I did not know that before before going into this tournament. I did not know it worked that way. I will gladly take 5 there. Go down 16. Swing back for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So putting him at 1. I could also fight his guy so I can do lethal. That's fine. Whatever. Alright, so I'm going to fight that guy. And then swing in for everything. It's a 5-4. I'm like trying to do the math in my head. I'm like, wait, does this all work out? He does have ultimate price though. I need to remember that. So now I'm gonna fight his dude. Swing him with everything. That should be game. I'm not sure. Math is not easy. Attack with everything. It sounds like lethal. I am so sorry for knocking you out of this tournament. I apologize, but every man for themselves. And I am on to the last round for my winning in as a X and 1. I will see you guys in a few minutes.